Everyone said I would never see them again. I wouldn't see them until they were 18.
But Thursday afternoon, Gala Trusty, her 12-year-old daughter Alexandra, and 11-year-old son Nikolai were all together again. Their ordeal started this summer. The kids were supposed to spend 2 months with their father, Russian native Gennady Ivanov, in Houston, and then the three of them would spend 2 weeks visiting their paternal grandparents in Moscow.
The day before they were supposed to leave to come back, I called to see if they were packing and how things were going, and that's when Alexandra told me that there had been a change of plans, and their dad said that they weren't coming back home.
The father had contacted the school and requested records. So then we knew that he obviously wasn't, he didn't have the intent to bring the kids back to their mom.
He said that his parents were like old, and if anything happened to them, he needed us there to help him.
Ivanov initially told Trusty she could visit the kids anytime she wanted, so she planned a trip to Moscow in September. When she called a week before, he said he had changed his mind and she could no longer visit. That's when she pressed charges for parental kidnapping.
A mom's just not going to stand by and allow something like this to happen to her kids.
I decided that I had to go over there and get them.
For safety and help, she went to Moscow with a friend who owns a security consulting business, and she had a plan. But on the day of action, things didn't exactly go smoothly.
I was just going up my steps, and I said, "Hey, that lady looks kind of like my mom," and then I realized that it was my mom. And I just freaked out. I was like, "What the?" And she was like,
I was going to get the kids before they went both into their schools. I was able to get Alexandra before she went into her school, but Nikolai had already entered his building. So by the time I was able to make contact with Nikolai, and the three of us were outside the school, like in the courtyard, trying to leave the school grounds, by then a lot of the other teachers were out and were intervening.
After a meeting, there was a general consensus among school officials, Ivanov, local police, and the U.S. Embassy that the children be allowed to go home with their mother. Trusty calls it a miracle and says she does not see Ivanov returning to the United States for a long time, if ever.
We would be notified if he would come back into the United States. But I can tell you that if he did, he would have to stand trial for this and charges would not be dropped.
Juliette Dreyer, KRCG 13 News, Jefferson City.